Okay, so today's video is going to be kind of different from usual. If you remember maybe a week ago or so, I did a video on my thumb, and the reason for that was because I burnt it pretty badly, if you remember. If not, you can have a look at the video. I'll put a link in the description. And pretty much, it was a chemical burn from a Demon K1 or number 1 firecracker. I'd snapped it open because it got wet, and I decided to light the flash powder without a long reach lighter or match. And that was a big mistake, seeing as within one flash, in a split second, my whole thumb, this area here where it's kind of pink, can't really see it that well, kind of a different shade to my thumb. It's healed over really well actually, it's going to be a scar, but went completely white. And normally with a chemical burn, if it's only small, you can sometimes scrape it off your skin, if it's only surface skin. And the skin doesn't come off, whereas this time the skin's just slid off, and it left me with an open wound, open burn on my thumb, which was very, very painful and was a big irritant to me. What with me having my GCSEs, and it was very hard to write, because it was on my right hand. Now, I'm just doing this video to tell you what to do in case of if you were to do it. What you want to do is obviously give it a rinse beforehand, before you even dress it or anything, because that will help get rid of any impurities or any dirt, because the likelihood is you've got some of the chemicals, which are the potassium permanganate and the aluminium powder, which aren't good to have in you. So pretty much what you want to do is get some gel burn plasters, and if you don't already have them and you've not burnt yourself yet, I would recommend buying them for that when that inevitable day comes and you do by accidentally burn yourself. They're a little bit pricier than normal plasters, but they do work extraordinarily well. And what they're designed to do is, because they have an antibiotic in the plaster's gel, it swells up around the wound to fill it in and keeps it kind of cool, and it keeps it so it doesn't hurt, and it takes out any impurities. It starts to form like a yellow crust. Sounds nasty, but a yellow crust around the perimeter of your burn, and that is, you think it's bad at first, but then you realise it's actually just the chemicals being pulled from the wound, and it's the body, your body's way of actually cleaning itself, ready for the skin to grow back. Keep on doing that until you notice that the yellow impurities have stopped really coming out. Keep on changing it every now and then, the plaster, and when it does, you want to get breathable plasters, which are fabric plasters, and make sure that you're not going to have it enclosed, because you don't want it to be damp and sweaty inside the plaster, because in that way more infections can grow, and you need the open skin to grow over. So put on a breathable plaster until it's pretty much started, well, because it's liquidy underneath, obviously it's all pink and gooey. What you want to do is wait until it starts to dry over, so it's almost like glue, touch dry, so that nothing can stick to it, if you know what I mean. Once that happens, you can just take off the plaster and just go about your normal business. It does get very tight because your skin's forming, so before I couldn't bend my thumb because it was too tight, and if you did bend your thumb, well, if I bent my thumb quite far, it would end up splitting it, and then I'd bleed a little bit. But now that it's completely healed over, it's all back to normal, apart from the nasty scar that I've got. But if it was any bigger, I would have wanted to go to a doctor or to A&E, purely because of the amount of skin that I'd lost. I mean, it was a big thing, and the sight of it wasn't pretty, the way it just slid off. So anyway, I thought this video just might be a bit of help to anyone that burns themselves. Like I say, if you haven't got them in already, I would recommend getting some burn plasters, the gel ones, because if you don't, and you're stuck with chemicals in your finger, and you really, or wherever you burn yourself, and you really don't want that. So I thought this video might be of help to you, so thanks for watching, I hope you liked, and leave a like, a comment and subscribe.